pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Take the roll.
Alderman Demas.
Present.
Thompson.
Here.
Katam.
Here.
Reynolds.
Here.
LeBerry.
Present.
Jefferson.
Present.
Herndon.
Excuse absence.
Crane.
Here. Let's start off our meeting as we always do with public comment. This is your time to ask any questions, share any ideas, thoughts, concerns with the council at this point in time. We're probably not going to address you in return now, but possibly throughout the course of the meeting we will try to answer some questions. Welcome.
Hi there.
Your name for the record.
I'm Chris Duncan. I'm with the LaSalle Business Association, and I'm a resident of LaSalle's 3rd Ward. I have with me Allie Brayboy and Brittany Eccles and Tony Massador from the LBA. They're both LBA board members. The LaSalle Business Association greatly appreciates our relationship with the city of LaSalle and the progress that has been made by the current administration to reinvigorate the LaSalle business community over the past 15 plus years, particularly in the downtown retail business district. To keep this progress moving, the LBA feels the downtown business district could benefit from investment in its streetscape. The LBA is committed to working to secure grant funding to help with this investment. However, with the grants we'd like to pursue, the city will need to be the applicant, even if the LBA does the legwork to apply and qualify. So we need your blessing. The landscape along First Street consists primarily of trees. Our current trees are attractive and ecologically diverse, but they don't necessarily fit well on a shopping street. Because of tree death and removal, there is no longer uniformity of tree spacing and tree species on each block. Some of the trees we have attract a large number of nesting birds, which leave behind quite a mess, and some trees attract bees and beehives that can be a nuisance to visitors and shoppers along our sidewalks. On a retail street, trees and landscaping aren't just decoration, they're infrastructure. What works best are large, fast-growing shade trees planted consistently and closely together to create a constant canopy over the street. Statistics show that sales increase by about 12% on streets with good tree cover and landscaping. Studies show that on shaded streets, visitors stay longer, they return more often, and they spend more money. There are other benefits, reduced wear on buildings and lower energy bills for building owners, for example, but the core point is pretty simple. If we want a stronger downtown economy, we need streets where people want to spend more time. Trees and other landscaping make that happen. But first we need a plan, and our LBA board member and grant writer, Allie Brayboy, has found a grant opportunity that will help us develop that plan, and she's here to explain it to you. Allie.
Good evening, my name is Salle Brayboy. I'm a LaSalle resident and I'm managing the grant application on behalf of the LaSalle Business Association. The LBA reached out to me to find grants related to beautification efforts in downtown LaSalle. The Streets Forever Inventory and Management Plan grant funds the creation of a plan that outlines what trees are best for the area, what trees won't work for the area, and how the trees should be best maintained. I provided to you printed information about the grant as well as my contact information if you have any questions. The funding goes toward a unit of government. The grant doesn't have a maximum amount required to apply for. The grantor has received up to $60,000 in requests for a plan, but if necessary, the request could go higher. The request amount is based on a quote from a professional contractor. If the grant is approved, the funding for the plan would be reimbursed to the city. The plan opens up doors to future tree planting and removal grant opportunities and networking contacts to transform LaSalle. There will be a resolution for you to consider and vote on Monday, April 27th, with the grant due April 30th. Thank you for your time, and I'm always available for questions. Thank you.
I have a quick question. So like you guys are talking about downtown on First Street, business areas. What about Rotary Park?
So that would be open. All of LaSalle is open for the tree inventory, and then if you wanted to go into the future, that would also be eligible for like free tree planting.
Okay.
So the plan that we would get would be a citywide inventory, and then there are restrictions on where things can be planted. You don't have to plant trees citywide at all. You pick and choose where your areas of concentration would be. Of course, the LBA's main concern would be the downtown business district, potentially 8th Street, and then maybe Civic Road. But we don't want to overstep our mission. The city could then choose other areas within the city to apply that plan to and use those recommendations for it.
Thank you.
Chris, I think one of the problems with downtown was some of those trees were too tall and they blocked the signage after a while.
Yeah.
And out at Rotary Park, the park with the playground and where most of the lights are and everything, that's all native trees. We went in there about 20 years ago and cleared out the non-native trees, so that's a.
Yeah, and part of the trees that we have downtown, one of the things that we hear is that they haven't grown enough. And so they're blocking the windows and they're blocking signage, they're blocking, the fronts of buildings so that your eyes aren't drawn to the business itself. And that could just be a matter of, tree maintenance or care or watering or fertilizing, or it could just be that we need a different type of tree there. None of us in the LBA are experts, and so we would look to the experts to kind of guide us in that and give us a plan. And I think you had mentioned this is a non-matching grant, is that correct? Yeah, so this is kind of one, but if we can get it, and nobody has to match it, all we have into it is our time, Allie's time and work and a little bit of expense there. And then if we can get that grant, we can start headed in the right direction to get the trees and other landscaping that might work best down there.
Yeah, we'd have to figure it out because we don't have a forestry department like some larger cities, so have to figure out maintenance.
And of course, the city is the applicant, the city will receive the funds. We would probably want an agreement of some kind to determine, how we interact and who determines where the funds are going. Ultimately, the city would have all the say. It would be your grant and your money, and we would just ask for some input and cooperation on how we use it. But ultimately, it is yours to have and keep.
Thank you guys so much for your time.
Yep, thank you guys.
As always, you're always welcome to stick around. If you want to take off, you can take off and enjoy the evening.
Thank you.
Any other public comment tonight? Any other public comment tonight? Hearing nothing, we'll move on to approval of minutes. As soon as Brent changes the screen.
Yeah, I make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting held on March 30th, 2026, placed on file. Each alderman has a copy.
Second. Motion Alderman Reynolds, second Alderman Thompson. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. Discussion of potential action on the following petitions.
Request from Nasty Traub, a fundraiser for Michael Traub for a 2026 raffle license and related matters.
Your Honor, I move that we grant the request as read, each and every one has a copy.
Second. Motion Alderman Demas, second Alderman Thompson. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried.
Request from Chris Baskey of LP Band Parents to hold a Tag Day collection on Friday, August 14, 2026, and Saturday, August 15, 2026, at the intersection of 11th and Buckland Streets and related matters.
I move that we approve the LP Band parents' request with our usual restrictions, especially as far as minors and boy.
Motion Alderman Fairway, second from Alderman Reynolds. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. Alderman, I think Brian gives them a copy of the invitation, so plus they've been there many years, so I think they know. Hopefully they know.
I'd just like to get it in a minute.
That's good.
Request from Lisa Manajak of LaSalle VFW Post 4668 for a special event permit to close Donahue Street south of 24th Street to southern edge of LaSalle VFW parking lot from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday, May 25th, 2026 for a car show and related matters.
I move that we grant the request of Lisa Manajak of the Salle VFW Post 4668 for car show, each and every alderman has a copy.
Second. Motion Alderman Demas, second Alderman Thompson. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. I think this is their third year.
Request from Carrie M. Izo-Dauber of LaSalle Speedway and Event Center for special event permits to allow the extension of outdoor music until 11 p.m. and increase of allowed decibel readings on Tuesday, May 5th, Saturday, May 30th, Saturday, June 20th, Thursday, July 2nd, Thursday, August 13th, Friday, August 14th, Saturday, September 26th, and Saturday, October 17th, all in 2026, and all at their location at 578 East US Route 6 and related matters.
Your Honor, I make a motion, we approve the request from Terry M. Izzle-Dauber of LaSalle Speedway Event Center for special event permits listed on all the dates
from Alderman Thompson, second from Alderman Reynolds to approve the special use permits. Please take the roll, please.
Alderman Demas.
Aye.
Thompson.
Aye.
Patak.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Aye.
LeBerry.
Aye.
Jefferson.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Request for a resident-only parking here to curb sign on a portion of the south side of 4th Street between Wright and Gooding Streets and related matters.
The resident reached out to me there that was at the corner, southwest corner of 4th and Gooding. And because his house is directly across from the Holy Rosary Shrine, he's having a problem being able to park up his house because there's so much traffic there. Similar to what we did for the house, the stone house across from St. Patrick's Church. So I move that we send it to Streets and Alley for review next council meeting and directly following the finance. I'll second that.
Motion on Demas, second Alderman Patak, sent to Streets, Alleys, and Traffic for recommendation for the next meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried.
Dave,
Just,
could you clarify, it doesn't make any sense to me, it says, here's the curve, what's the curve we talking about?
Well,
Here the corner.
he lives on the southwest corner of 4th and Gooding, and he lives in, he would be on the west side of, would be the back of his house. So he has two renters that live in the front, and one of them parks in the driveway at Gooding Street, and the other one parks just before the stop sign on 4th Street, and he parks behind him. So his request would be for two parking places the length of his house, similar to what we did for the stone house across from St. Patrick's School.
So it wouldn't be curved then, would it?
No, it's just listed wrong. It should be, I sent it to Brent my way. It should be from, I would say from the stop sign back to spaces.
Just to know, point of order, I had the building inspector go there because I'm not for sure what he's talking about because he never parks it. He has both his containers, his recycle bin and his trash bin on the road all week. And that's why I sent, Dennis Hockman there to address it, and now all of a sudden he's parking. So, just take that into consideration because
he
sounds like
he had his garbage cans there.
yeah, usually you do that like in Chicago, they put it out there, they never left. Garbage cans were never all. Ask Tom's wife and everybody goes to the corner rosary, those things are there all the time. That's why I actually got a call from a resident to see these people park there, they can't even back up because these cans are in the road.
That's an ordinance violation.
Right. So.
And since we're gonna discuss it,
Yeah.
I don't think we should ever give public street parking for resident only to anybody that we've done it for. I think that's a wrong use of taxpayer funded roadway, that's public parking, and that we've done before, in my humble opinion, doesn't advocate that we should do it for everybody, because again, the more we do it, the more people are gonna want it, and then how do you say no to them, and yes to this, and now we're talking rental property. I say to you, if you pay a lower rate for the house you're buying, or that you're renting, and I think the police chief will, well, he hasn't been police chief for a winter yet, but when you get the phone calls of why you picking on my vehicle, where am I supposed to park my 4 vehicles when the snow comes, because I don't have off-street parking. And my argument is that's why your rent is $400 cheaper than something that has.
He owns the house.
But usually just to your point,
Yeah, that's.
Chief was here during the winter time, but just to your point, we just don't start moving cars till 48 hours, right?
Change the motion.
But when you get the call, they don't have
Yes.
parking, they do it when they rent the place, they don't have
Yeah,
parking.
they did.
And
They
it's
voted to.
brought up the point that Holy Rosary has kind of changed what they do because of the.
There's more masses there than any other
Well,
church.
okay, so I spent about at least a week here, because I had the same feeling you did when you talked contact. I said, you don't own the marketplace, the company place. And I told them, don't come here tonight because we're going to discuss it. We go to street. So, but I'll give just a short version, right? So I watched, and the Holy Rosary Shrine's open 8 to 8 for adoration. And people are coming, like today, there was 9 or 10 cars there. And then the school parks there. So if you're coming from the west, his house is directly across the street from the steps for the Holy Rosary Shrine. So if you come from the west, you're gonna park there and walk up the steps. So what happens is, when they park there and the school parks there, okay, he comes home with groceries, he's either gotta park, can't park on Gooding Street because there's no parking, he's gotta park way down on the west end and walk it. So
I think
I looked at it, and then on
chunk
Easter-
everybody next 2 weeks to try to go by that.
But on Easter Sunday, that's one of the two busiest.
Well, you go there Easter Sunday and Christmas, it's gonna be super busy.
Yeah, so I went around there Easter and it was all packed. There wasn't a parking place in 2 blocks in either direction. They have an east parking lot.
Or the garbage cans.
The garbage cans were in. The west parking lot, there was still 6 places for the church, so they're not taking any of the church. Okay, moving on.
I just want to clarify what we're gonna put on the agenda.
Well, we're gonna put on the agenda, I guess we need to change it, and is.
You want 2 spots?
Request, resident park only from here to stop sign.
Thank you, good discussion.
You guys will hand them out.
Report city officer.
While I'm at my desk here, I want to let everyone know that apparently the microphones are not working for the live stream. Everything I see on my end, since they are active, I do have my own recording going of the meeting, of course, so if there's nothing that makes it to the actual live stream, we can upload this recording. I also know that it makes a backup recording to the hard drive, so if the microphones work on that recording, we can just upload that at a later time. But they can't hear this right now, but I want to make you aware in case you hear about it after the meeting.
Subtitles for us?
I'll try that, yeah. I'll actually sign it on camera for you, so I'm going to be working on that a little bit while we're going through the meeting here. Thanks, everybody.
Report city officers, thank you, Brett.
Building inspector's report for March 2026 showing total fees collected of $2,856 with total value of construction of $342,836.
Your Honor, I move we accept the building inspector's report for March 2026.
Second. Motion on Jefferson, second on Thompson. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried.
Monthly police operations report for March 2026 showing total fees collected of $9,596.
And I make the motion that we approve the monthly police operations report for March 2026. Showing total fees collected of $9,596.
Second. Motion by Alderman Reynolds, second by Alderman Thompson. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. No communications tonight. Bids and proposals.
Discussion and potential action regarding potential bid award of $3,784,022.56 to Ski Seal Coating and Maintenance Inc. for lead surface line replacement project and related matters.
You know, I have a question about this, looking through the bids. I'm a little concerned that such a wide range of prices, from the most inexpensive one to the second one, there's a 56% change, the difference in the price. And from the most expensive one to the least expensive one, it's over 150%. How can it be so different?
Well, the most expensive ones, do you
Didn't want it?
recognize any of the names?
No.
They're not from the area?
Yeah.
They're hoping they can get it
Yeah.
at that nobody else would get it kind of thing.
Then the two local ones, there's quite a difference.
There's a big difference between the two. The one that got it, or is low bidder, is Thomas Shesky, and he believes he can do it using directional boring, and he wanted to, it's 100 a year plus or minus. He wants to keep crew busy and keep them busy for a couple years and do them all. So he felt that he could do it for that amount, and that is close to what our estimate was. It's actually a little over what we estimated. So from the numbers that our consultant had received from other projects, this is in the range of those costs.
All right. It just raised a red flag when there's such a difference in
And it
prices.
depends, the other local contractor might have so much work they really didn't want.
Okay.
You know, I can ask.
No, I'm just curious if obviously Don, checked out all the bids, make sure they all meet the requirements, and stuff, but when the difference in pricing, that's all.
Right.
Because it's a 5-year deal, right? And you're thinking 100 homes each year?
They could do 500 in 1 year, and then we wouldn't have to do any for 4 years. They have to do a minimum of 100 a year.
I see.
But they could do them all and get them done.
Okay.
A couple things with that. I'm glad we had this discussion. That's great. I think directional boring is a great idea. It definitely saves costs. However, I just want to make sure that every utility, such as our storm and sanitary sewer, will be potholed to that depth of that bore line, just to make sure there's nothing that got damaged by mistake from the boring.
Well, the the method that they're proposing, or is actually using the existing conduit as the application, or how to pull the line back through.
Yeah, you understand my concern.
I understand your concern.
So I trust you.
You know, if the line is there, they'll use that line to make the connection, kind of like you would do a fish tape.
Right.
That they would be using that conduit for the new line to use it as.
And I've done that before, and that's a great method to do as well. I just want to make sure that we're safe and don't have to come back and.
But directional boring, to Tom's point, directional boring is fine within the specs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then they would pothole at where the new curb stop or buffalo box would go and make the connection at that location by pothole.
As long as we can verify our sewers and the service for the homes aren't at that depth, if they're deeper than what they're going, that's great. I just don't want to see a bore line through a sewer, because we've had that issue many times in town with different utilities going in. A lot of times a resident have a sewer backed up, you dig it up and there's a gas main that got bored right through there. You know?
But I don't think that they're proposing that type of directional boring. It'll be using the existing conduit as the line, but we will definitely, at least at the beginning of the process, see how it's done and verify. Yes.
Thank you.
So we feel comfortable.
Good point, Jordan Crane.
Really quick, I want to let everyone know that we did get the audio recording fixed. If it's not on the earlier part of the meeting, I'll make the audio recording on my phone available on the website. So for everybody that's still watching after that, they can now hear us.
Thank you.
And they'll hear the other portions of it that they missed. I'll put on the city's website tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yep.
This is on my desk. Maybe that has something to do with it.
It shouldn't, but possible, I suppose. We don't need it now.
What's the council's pleasure?
Yeah, I will go make a motion that we accept the recommendation from Donahue to accept the bid from Seal Coating and Maintenance for the amount of $3,784,022.56 for the lead service line replacement project and related matters.
And this would be subject to them signing all the appropriate documentation and conditioned and contingent on the city obtaining the low interest loan from the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency Public Water Supply Loan Program in regard to the project.
That's what I meant to say.
Motion, that's what Tom said. Motion by Alderman Tax, second by Alderman Reynolds. Please take the roll with all the contingencies. Attorney McFedrin laid forth.
Alderman Thompson.
Aye.
Patak.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Aye.
LeVary.
Aye.
Jepson.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Demus.
Aye.
And one more thing, Brian. You said they have to do 100 a year, a minimum 500 for 4 years.
500 over 5 years.
500 to 5. Right. So if they get to that point and things are going good, and we got budget for it, I'd like to keep going. I don't want to just do the minimum. Let's do what we can.
Well, but the thing with like this loan, it's a low interest, long-term loan with a substantial forgiveness. So what we'd want to do is go back out for another round of this where we get 80% of it forgiven. So we want to, we don't want to just continue on when we can get it done for substantially less out of our pockets.
So is that something that we can get the ball rolling while they're still working?
Once we see how quickly they're going, and if it appears that they're going to have it done in a couple years, then we will move forward. But we do have to locate another 500 or another 200, and that takes some work and takes some effort and some budget to be able to do that, and we have not done that.
And then can we reach out to the residents that may have lead or galvanized on their side and say, the crew's here, your costs to replace your line and try to help them out, not cover the cost.
This includes that.
What's that?
This includes the resident side.
Okay.
This includes the water meter, right?
Yes, it's from the main to the meter.
All right, great.
I have one question here too. With the 500 service lines being replaced, what percentage is that of the potential known lead lines?
Well, it's all of the knowns at this point.
Okay.
But we anticipate from just doing the calculation where we anticipate having lead issues on the public side and on the private side. We haven't put in all the meters in town yet, but we are getting all the private side as we're putting the meters in. We anticipate about 1,400 total lead service lines. So it's a little over a third of
Okay.
what we anticipate.
All right, thank you.
Great work, thank you.
It's definitely a good start, because I know the EP is on this. So. Good job, Brian Ron. Moving on.
Discussion and potential action regarding bids and proposals regarding potential sale and development of premises at 541st Street and related matters.
It's council's pleasure.
Your Honor, I have some thoughts on this. Between the two bids, one being what they want to make it a parking lot, and the other one I'll put a building up. I'm in favor of putting a building up. I think everybody on the council would like to see a retail building on First Street. That's a great spot for it. I just have a couple of things I'm concerned about. I know Christie's here. Like I would hope that there's a time frame. And then also I'm concerned. I know they're putting a WIC building up, which I'm familiar with. I would hope that there's some sort of nice facade to make it look like a brick veneer or something. So I don't know if we can put that in there to make that a requirement. That's just my thought.
We have a brick veneer requirement, right, for downtown?
Say it again.
Don't we have a brick veneer
A masonry requirement.
Yeah, or masonry, yeah.
I don't know.
We just
That's
don't
just
wanna
the
check
front.
into.
Barbie?
Why don't we ask Christie if she's by the.
Yeah, those were all discussed in the but you want to hear it?
I know it's in there,
Yep.
but it's just letters on a page, man. So do we require that? Can we, after it's done, oh, you know what? Can't do it today.
Well, this would be subject, you would be moving forward, allowing you to negotiate a contract with them based on the present proposal.
All right, that's what I
It would
wanted
be
to hear.
subject to that being satisfactory to the council and approved when it's in writing and something that both sides would be bound with.
I like that.
Yeah, this is just to accept their bid, but again, there'll be contingencies on it, just like we have in the past with properties. And obviously Christie's very much aware of those. We had a couple of different meetings.
Okay.
South State Bank was there as far as the financing. Kurt, Brant, and John were involved in that. So a lot of those issues that you brought up are very much, she's aware of those.
Okay.
And her team, her group, or whatever. So again, you'll just have to make sure, like I said, and if the situation comes up or something doesn't come up with the time frame as far as build, then obviously that property would revert back to the city.
Okay.
But
And any motion on this needs to be specifically indicate that it's in the best interest of the city to go this route. But you're considering, of course, you would get extra tax increment from the TIF, both real estate and potential sales tax if it comes. Plus, even after the TIF is over, with a building, you're gonna get a greater increment on real estate tax than you are with a parking lot.
I understand that.
and we all know Christie's already had some good projects downtown that have been a big factor already in success. So.
And Bellows by Dayton is an anchor story, so to speak.
Was that a motion, Tom?
I can read a motion and then if you wanna make it, Alderman.
Say it again.
Considering all the pertinent factors, including that it's in the best interest of the city of LaSalle, as I understand it, Alderman Patak would be moving that we move forward with negotiating potential appropriate contract / redevelopment agreement regarding the purchase acquisition premises commonly known as 541st Street with Christie Pasica, Michelle Olson, and Starbuck Reynolds as their interest may appear. This motion is hereby to move forward is subject and contingent on the purchasers entering into an redevelopment agreement, following the agreement, that redevelopment agreement being approved by the city council pursuant to ordinance.
So moved.
There's a motion by Alderman Patak, second by Alderman Reynolds. And good questions, Tom. I appreciate that. Please take the roll.
Alderman Patak.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Aye.
LeVary.
Aye.
Jepson.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Demus.
Aye.
Thompson.
Aye.
Discussion and potential action regarding bid and proposal regarding potential sale and development of premises at 716 Buckland Street and related matters.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I have a question about this. So I was always under the understanding that you cannot put a garage on a resident lot without a house being attached to it. So are we
She
gonna?
has to combine the properties.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
I
Any
told her that.
motion to approve this would be subject to the resident combining the property, entering into a contract with the city, also understanding to take it as is, the city providing no additional title evidence, and with the understanding that there would be a covenant running with the land, that the resident would agree that the house would not be sold without the garage, and the garage would not be sold without the house, so they can't escape the ordinance by trying to avoid it.
Well done. So moved. Okay.
Second.
Give it to me.
I know somebody who has a property like that was probably wondering about that.
And I think that's, from what I understand, from talking to folks, this is the potential purchaser's intention anyhow.
Right, well, some people just want it for additional yard. I think this person's planning on doing exactly what was mentioned, and with the understanding of combining the parcels.
Which will increase the property
Right.
taxes and benefit the city taxpayers. So I second, or
You made the motion?
I'll make the motion.
I second.
We'll let the alderman,
Since it's an our ward.
we'll let the alderman in that ward handle it. Motion by Alderman Thompson, second by Alderman Demus, to accept the bid from Nikki Bear for that property at 716 Buckland. Only bidder, I believe. Please take the roll.
Alderman Reynolds.
Aye.
LeBerry.
Aye.
Jepson.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Demus.
Aye.
Thompson.
Aye.
Patak.
Aye.
Appointments, resignations, nothing tonight. Standing committees.
Discussion and potential action regarding the recommendation of Finance Committee regarding approval of a quote for roof replacement at 1255 9th Street, Parks and Rec Building, and related matters.
Your Honor, the Finance Committee voted to recommend that we accept the bid from Mayu Roofing for the amount of $9,892.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Patak, second by Alderman LaVerry to accept the recommendation of the Finance Committee. Please take the roll.
Alderman LeBerry.
Aye.
Jepson.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Demus.
Aye.
Thompson.
Aye.
Patak.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Special committees.
Discussion and potential action regarding the recommendation of the Economic Development Committee regarding submitting an application to the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity for inclusion in the River's Edge redevelopment zone and related matters.
Your Honor, the Economic Development Committee met the past week and we voted to go ahead and submit the application for the River's Edge and Opportunity Zone and related matters.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Patak, second by Alderman LaVerry. All in favor?
Aye.
Against?
I think there should probably be a roll call on that, Mayor. if that's
And,
all right.
and at that motion too, I believe that you directed us to start the public hearing process as well to get a public hearing on the agenda.
Yeah, it would be a public hearing process, and for the public's information, there would be a public hearing within the very near future, more likely than not on the 27th of this month, but could be the meeting after that, depending on some things.
Please take the roll.
Alderman Jepson.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Demus.
Aye.
Thompson.
Aye.
Patak.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Aye.
LeBerry.
Aye.
Discussion and potential action regarding the recommendation of the Economic Development Committee regarding submitting an application to the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity to create an Illinois Opportunity Zone and related matters.
So moved.
Second.
I'm going to motion by Alderman Patak, second by Alderman Thompson. Please take the roll. You guys are busy at that Economic Development Committee.
Alderman Crane.
Aye.
Demus.
Aye.
Thompson.
Aye.
Patak.
Aye.
Reynolds. LeVary.
Aye.
Jepson.
Aye.
Discussion and potential action regarding the recommendation of the Economic Development Committee regarding renewal of services with Global Site Location Industries for economic development consulting services and related matters.
Your Honor, the committee went ahead to recommend that we renew our membership with the Global Site Location Industries. This will be the third year we're doing this. This is at the cost of $30,000. So there's this and the past two things that we just voted and passed on is to make LaSalle appealing to outside people to land some sort of business, industry, whatever we need or can use. So we felt this was important that it goes along with the River's Edge zoning. So I vote that I make the motion that we renew this.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Patak, second by Alderman Jepson to renew this membership of this group. Please take the roll.
Alderman Demus.
Aye.
Thompson.
Aye.
Patak.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Aye.
LeVary.
Aye.
Jepson.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
I think the fact with the River's Edge definitely could put us on the map, and this will be a good opportunity. That could be more useful now. So with that, River's Edge. Old business.
Authorization of pay request number 1 for Universal Asphalt and Excavating Inc. totaling $183,264.36 for work completed to date on the Malcolm and Gunn Avenue Emergency Water Main Replacements 2025 project and related matters.
I move that we authorize pay request number 1.
Second.
Motion by Alderman LaVerry, second by Alderman Jepson. Please take the roll.
Alderman Thompson.
Aye.
Patak.
Aye.
Reynolds. LeVary.
Aye.
Jepson.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Demus.
Aye.
Authorization to pay request number 11 and final for municipal well and pump totaling $144,450.56 for work completed to date on the deep well drilling project and related matters.
Pay the request number 11 to final for the municipal well pump, oil and pump totaling $144,450.56 for the work completed to date on the deep well drilling project and related matters. The total is copy.
Second. Motion by Alderman Reynolds, second by Alderman Demus. Please take the roll.
Alderman Patak.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Aye.
Laveri.
Aye.
Jepson.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Demus.
Aye.
Thompson.
Aye.
Gentlemen, any other old business?
Yeah, I got a couple things.
What's on your mind, Alderman?
Excuse me?
What's on your mind?
Well, I got a lot. I'd like to thank, Chris and the LBA and, Miss Brayboy for their help with this trees here. I believe it was, I'm trying to go back by memory, but I believe it was in April of 2023 that I proposed to plant about 50 trees on the walk plan around Rotary. Still waiting for that. Hopefully with your help we can get that done. I love trees. I planted some myself downtown. I'd like to see some more. I think they look nice. So thank you for your work and helping us with this. Second, we had a hiccup in the ordinance that we recently passed regarding the side-by-side UTV golf cart. The wording in that for the inspections was ASE certified mechanic. The day after the council passed that ordinance, we had people lining up at local businesses here in town waiting for get inspection just to find out that they cannot be inspected because we don't have the proper certifications in those businesses. So we're trying to look around, take some suggestions of what we can do differently to make this possible. Because as of right now, we have one unit registered in LaSalle, to my knowledge. And that guy actually loaded up on a trailer and went to Ottawa and paid a pretty big fee to have his done. So,
He was all in.
Now, with that, I'm asking the council their help with some input. If there's anything we can do different, any ideas or?
Well, I first want to say I don't think it was a hiccup. I think we always said all along this is going to be kind of a work in progress, right? So, I mean, it is what it is. Did you have some thoughts? I know I heard them potentially maybe the people who sell the units could maybe sign off on that sheet.
Yeah, and
like Leone's or somebody who does
as their ordinance is written, they cannot.
Correct. Well, I think we talked about maybe waiting a little bit of time to make some changes, but I don't know if we want to wait if some people want to get a chance to get moving on this and there's no place local to do it. So
I have some thoughts.
And I also have a suggestion.
Why don't you?
My suggestion is you can make a phone call to any mechanic doesn't matter where they live, doesn't matter where their shop's at. They don't need a shop to inspect those 4x4s. If you really want to drive it on the street, make some phone calls. A guy will come to your house. I'm sure you'll find somebody for a fee. And they'll come to your house and they'll certify it for you.
There's a lot of ASE mechanics out there.
A lot of them.
They gotta be for these type of vehicles? Is that what it is, Jordan?
I'm not exactly sure.
So back to the ASE.
we've always wanted to make things as easy as possible for our folks, right?
But we want to make it safe too.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't want increased
make-
liability.
Just to what Doc said there, they do not have to be certified for those specific vehicles. UASC certification is not specific to those vehicles.
It just gives a credit. The
Correct.
reason that this was selected in the first place was to have objective criteria to provide credibility for the inspection, to make certain that you would have a qualified inspector rather than a hack. It was also done on the premise that it was thought it would work quickly because the input as I understand it, had been received by the city prior to passage of the ordinance was that several of the local mechanics were qualified under ASC and that this should move easily. Since it got passed, it's learned that the information that was received previously would provide a basis to consider some other alternatives that could be considered. ASE could be left as a criteria, and to add some additional objective criteria, you could include dealer of a particular vehicle that's of the nature that's being sold. Also to consider, if not, as I understand it, several of the local mechanics were ASE certified, but they've been in business so long, they feel they have enough credibility that they don't need it any longer. And that was part of what came up. You could also have it that if they had a certification at one point in their life for at least a 5-year period, that would provide it. You could also have another alternative that they would have to have a garage keeper's insurance and with the state of Illinois ID to have all of those. If you wanted to amend it to include other objective criteria, given that it's been determined that some of the folks who were thought previously that they would qualify to do this inspection simply and quickly apparently did not have the piece of paper on the wall any longer. It may, from what I understand, it was there at one point, but it no longer is.
Your Honor, I'm curious what Alderman Demas, since this is his field of expertise, what you have to say about this.
Well, I am an ASE certified pro master. So there's
Sweet,
eight.
how do we get people to
Well, there's
sign off
8.
on it?
Well, I'm gonna explain it, right? At ASE certification, there's 8 levels. And then there's a drivability, which makes you a master. So you could have an ASE certification on one level and be able to do it, you know. My personal opinion is that you don't need an ASE certified mechanic to do the inspection, because all it is checking lights, make sure it's got all the safety equipment. You just need somebody capable. But if I was a pro supporter of an ASE certified mechanic, as Jordan is of his, you know, group that and unions and all that, I would probably vote against it. But I don't see that we need it. I mean, anybody that's qualified to work on vehicles, all you're doing is checking lights and a horn and make sure it's got windshield wipers on it and a windshield. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to do it. So
It takes a signature and liability.
so as long as the person is in a business, I mean, it can't be your next door neighbor, Joe Blow, that's putting brakes on for everybody. But as long as you have a registered business in the city of LaSalle in automotive work or any kind of mechanical work, then I would suggest that they be able to do it. I mean, so.
Would you want them to have garage keeper's insurance, at least show that they're credible?
Yeah, I would think that would be acceptable, you know, I mean,
Most places should have that.
yeah, I mean, if you're running a business, you're gonna have it. Unless you're doing it in your driveway or you're doing it up on what, 28th Street in your ward,
It's 24th Street.
24th Street?
We
No,
don't
it's,
have a 28th Street, I think.
well, yeah, that's 24th, isn't it? Yeah, 24th Street.
Out of curiosity, why would a mechanic not be certified?
Well, okay, so it started back in 1971 as a way to certify mechanics. So if you took your car to a mechanic, you knew you could fix it. And over the years, it just grew and grew and grew. So it got to the point that if you weren't certified, you wouldn't get hired anywhere. And if you were certified, you were a certified master pro, you pretty much write your own ticket, you know. And so that's what it came to be. It came to be more or less like belonging to a union, you know. I belong to a union, you know, okay, you got the union behind you, well, you got the ASE behind you. I've taken the tests, and I'll tell you, they're not easy tests. You have to know what you're doing to pass them, you know. It's not like.
Is it an annual renewal?
Well, it used to be 5 years, and then it used to be 3 years, and then it went to 5 years, and then after 25 years, when you're 25 years certified, then you only have to do it every 10 years, and then if you make it to 50, then you don't have to do it anymore, because they figure you're not going to be working on many cars after that.
Oh, Roddy might have that.
Yeah. But, you know, I mean, if you're taking your car to somebody that's not ASE certified, I don't know if I'd let them work on my car. But to do an inspection for a golf cart to see that the lights work and it's got brake lights and it's got windshield wipers and, you know, it has 4 tires and a windshield, I don't think you need to be an ASE certified mechanic to do that.
But somebody has to bring it up to specs if there's something wrong, right?
Your Honor, can I make a point of order? This isn't on the agenda, and we're really getting deep into
this. Well, you can discuss it, you just can't vote, can't do any voting or anything of that nature. You can discuss it, but then it would have to be on the agenda to amend it next meeting.
So I think we should put on next meeting for discussion, and we'll go from there. But before next meeting, let's get a list of people that want to do it. So, you know, like if it's this guy or that guy, you know, somebody runs a lawnmower shop.
Any other old business, gentlemen? New business?
Letter of support. Letter of support for Rivers Edge redevelopment zone application and related matters.
Kind of goes hand in hand, right? Alderman Patek?
Yes. I'll move.
I'll second.
Motion by Alderman Patek, second by Alderman Thompson. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried.
Letter of support for opportunity zone application and related matters.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Alderman Patek, second by Alderman Thompson. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried.
Discussion and potential action regarding the 2026 motor fuel tax roads project, estimated costs and related matters.
Jim, you guys got a list of potential roads. One thing I did want to touch base with is try to make it as equal as possible. The Second Street, obviously between Crozet and Sterling, and actually was hoping maybe we'd go all the way to Union because it makes sense just to finish that last block. Then Brian said it'd be an additional 15,000. So initially had that under as TIF because that is TIF. But Brian suggested if we're going to do like Oak Ridge Drive with the concrete work, he would recommend we do that with TIF so we can get more people. It'd be a separate program than MFT. We can get more people to bid on it. So we would roll that Second Street back into the regular MFT. So just be kind of moving up those monies around.
What about First Street from Buckland to border there? We talked about doing that with the concrete too. Can we do the same with TIF? Same way?
Which way?
Yeah, I don't know if we're ready for this year or maybe we thought maybe in the future year because I don't know if they're totally done down there with all the work and.
I'm trying to find some money in addition.
Isn't
I think
that
we're gonna do,
isn't that a special route?
infrastructure when we do that too.
It's a truck route, yeah.
So
It's still definitely on the radar.
I thought we got federal money for that, right? If it was approved.
We did when it was constructed.
Uh-huh.
Getting it again is difficult once it's been constructed as a truck route, and you can't take it off a truck route. Not that we would ever do that, but it's a difficult situation. But I'm trying to find some money to help us.
What about the funding like we got from for H Street from Crozet to Sterling?
It is an FAU route, so
Okay.
It is something, but we have to rebuild that pot.
Okay.
What kind of funding do we get for Buckland from first to third?
I don't know.
Federal?
I wasn't around.
Oh, yeah, you were.
I believe that was a
I
federal
think it was a
project.
federal thing.
That's
believe
another
that
memory
was
lane in
exactly-
1971.
I believe that exactly what Alderman Crane was talking about. It's a FAU route like we did the other, but it's not what we have been doing like with Crozet and Charters are what they call a LAP project, which is basically an overlay. This would be a full construction section, so it's more in-depth than that. But it is something that
I definitely think we want to look at going from 101 to the Turpin's or Cordy's, I mean, all the way because it's pretty rough down First Street.
Or Hayes.
But we could, using federal monies, there has to be from two federal routes, which Buckland is a federal route and the city limits is the other, or railroad track is considered a logical termini. So we could do that also.
Thank you.
I make a motion that we approve the 2026 MFT road projects. Each and every alderman has a copy.
Motion by Alderman Demus, second by Alderman Reynolds to give permission for Brian Brown to move forward with the program. Please take the roll.
Alderman Reynolds.
Aye.
LaBerry.
Aye.
Jepson.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Demus.
Aye.
Thompson.
Aye.
Patak.
Aye.
I have a road question real quick too. We did there was a 11th Street. We did a little fix on it prior to winter, and then the snow plows came through and undid all the work, it seems like.
Well, it did seal up down below, so it did help, but it didn't fix the issue.
Yeah, because I'm sure we all drive and it's boom, 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 boom.
Right. It's in the opposite direction now. Instead of a bump, it's a divot, I guess, back to where it was.
Yes.
We need to figure out some way to fill that in.
Yeah, I was hoping to see maybe something with 11th Street on this list, but I know it's a different type of project.
Go back to the old days with the tar can in the cracks.
Can we do something like, was done at the fire station, just cut the joints out, put the joints back in, like a 1 foot or 2 foot section?
Yeah, and I got a price on that.
Probably cheaper to do the whole road.
It's about $100,000 to do that. And that's why I thought we'd spend $3,000 and see if we could get what worked, what we did last year to work.
It was a good try.
It was a good try, and it did.
Jane knows it's not very good.
It did seal it up, but it did pull up with
the plows hit it.
Yeah.
So I will continue to investigate and see if there's another solution. But yeah, unfortunately, that did not fix it.
Yeah, like I figured that was the cheap fix first to see if it worked, and but yeah, thank you.
Well, even when you fixed it, it was a bump.
Under new businesses, just want to kind of reiterate, circle back to the LBA and the tree thing, and I know it's a quick turnaround time on that, and that just, we all know sometimes that happens, right? Also, when we're aware of a grant, we're like, oh shoot, now we got to kind of jump through hoops. So that's why, it's kind of a quick turnaround. That's why, they just want to give you that information. Nobody wants to make sure you feel like it's getting pushed down your throats, but if we're going to act on it, it has to be the 27th. So then we can make sure Ally gets it proposed and submitted by the 30th. So again, I think it's a good project. Again, obviously, when we talked about it after LB on Thursday, it's definitely Rotary Park. I know you wanted along the path right to the lake, especially,
But this doesn't cost us anything, right?
Correct.
It's 100% grant. Yeah, okay.
So I just wanted to give more clarifications. It did kind of just come up. It wasn't something like, oh crap, we got to get this on here now. We just kind of came up, and there's now the key to this is what Ally says, that once we get this, if we get this one, then it kind of lays the groundwork for future grants. So, any other new business? Discussion and potential action on the following additional ordinances and resolutions.
Resolution regarding electrical municipal aggregation.
So moved, Your Honor.
Second. Motion, Alderman Tax, Alderman Thompson, please take the roll. Everybody has a copy.
Alderman LaVerry.
Aye.
Jepson.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Demus.
Aye.
Thompson.
Aye.
Patak.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Just a quick comment on that. This will give us the authority to go out and get pricing, and then we'll be back to you with what that is over the next meeting or the meeting after that. The current agreement goes to June.
John, we're bargaining with other municipalities.
Yes, we are.
Resolution authorizing certification of local approval in regard to Tri-County Opportunities Council and related matters.
Your Honor, I make a motion to approve the resolution for authorizing certification of the local approval in regards to Tri-County Opportunity Council and related matters.
This was the follow-up, this one was approved last year as well.
I'm sorry, Jim.
This was done last year as well.
Second.
Motion, Alderman Reynolds, Alderman Thompson, please take the roll.
Alderman Jepson.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Demus.
Aye.
Thompson.
Aye.
Patak.
Aye.
Reynolds. LaVerry.
Aye.
Finance Director, anything for us?
Nothing further, Mayor.
Chief Stubler.
Nothing.
Liz.
Nothing, Mayor.
Brett.
Just really quick, that the e-waste recycling event went really well. Just under 200 cars registered, a lot of compliments from residents. I'll have a tonnage report shortly, and then we can decide whether we want to do it again in another 2 years.
Thanks for heading it up, Brett. Appreciate it. Chief Janik. Kurt, anything?
Sure. One thing, there's a Access to Capital Supporting Small Business seminar that's going to take place at IBCC on April 28th from 4:30 to 7 p.m. This is for small businesses or anybody that's looking to start up a small business, and they're going to be able to have an opportunity to meet with bank lenders and such, or any other type of networking opportunities to find financing capital for your businesses. So if you're interested in that, please pre-register with IBCC on that.
What's the date on that?
As April 28th.
Time?
4:30 to 7.
Thank you. Brian Brown.
Nothing further, Mayor.
Attorney McFadden.
Nothing further, Mayor.
Gentlemen on this side? Gentlemen? A little longer meeting today, but great discussion. Definitely appreciate the input from the folks today visiting us. Just a lot of construction going out, Malcolm, Gun Avenue, Creep Court, 7th Street, 8th Street, Illinois Street, 2nd Street. So just be safe out there. It's a good thing. It'll pay off. Thanks to your patience, it'll pay off when it's done. So, let's pay the bills.
Total submitted $1,171,646.86.
Your Honor, I move that we accept, pay, and file the bills as each and every alderman have a copy.
Second.
Motion Alderman Tack, second by Alderman Berry. Please take the roll.
Alderman Crane.
Aye.
Demus.
Aye.
Thompson.
Aye.
Patak.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Aye.
LeBerry.
Aye.
Jepson.
Aye.
We get a motion for adjournment.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Reynolds, second by Alderman Crane. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. Thanks, everybody. Good discussion tonight.